Well, sunny, hot, and typical valley weather outside for us, and our local 23's chief meteorologist Isaac Williams is tracking all of our forecasts. Isaac?
Yeah, Sydney, the temperature's in the 80s still, but we're going to crank that up more so to the 90s by the weekend, and it's sort of related to the tropics. We'll talk about it. 90 still this evening in Rio Grande City. We're just 30 minutes away from the sun setting out there. 86 in Weslaco, 83 in Harlingen, 83 in Brownsville there too. East winds off the Gulf of Mexico have brought in a little bit of moisture. The humidity has remained in check, but more noticeable than recent days, especially last week. We were really treated to some nice air. Again, getting replaced with that humidity just a bit more. As I mentioned, sunset tonight, 7:12. Your overnight low into the middle 60s, around 66. Tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine on the way, upper 80s to lower 90s, with a breeze developing, of course, during the afternoon. Across the nation, things are fairly quiet. We have some unsettled weather with a stationary front for the Florida Peninsula, but of course, all eyes on the Gulf and Caribbean, where we have two tropical systems that are ongoing. Now, thankfully, we're not really looking at any direct impacts here in the valley. We might squeeze out a couple of showers from Delta's moisture by the middle of the week on Thursday, but right now just a 20% chance that it rains. Delta, I should say Gamma, a tropical depression off the northern coast of the Yucatan, continues to weaken. It is now a depression and is forecast to become a remnant low shortly. But into the Caribbean, we are looking at potentially a rapidly intensifying Delta. It is now a hurricane. In just a couple of hours, we've seen this transition from a tropical storm up to a hurricane. The hurricane hunters are flying around and found winds of 75 miles per hour. It's moving to the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Water temperatures in the path of this storm, 85 or higher. That is very favorable for intensifications of hurricanes. And in fact, we're looking at the area that basically it's moving, historically speaking, this time of the year in October, most likely to see rapid intensification exactly where this storm is moving. And it's no surprise that the Hurricane Center now has this almost at a Category 4 intensity, very close to Cancun, Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. The latest track continues to swing it out to the Gulf, but thankfully is expected to turn northward by the time we get to Thursday. But unfortunately for Louisiana, it looks like they'll take the brunt of this once again. This will be during the day on Friday as a Category 2 or 3 storm moves through, and then inland impacts look pretty likely for Mississippi and Alabama as well. For us here in the valley, on the island, we're going to see increasing wave heights, some tidal flooding possible, some beach erosion not out of the question. Certainly very hazardous seas. You can see the winds kicking up the water there, so mariners will have a tough go later this week, so keep that in mind. Here's a quick look at your 7-day. As I mentioned, the heat cranks up the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we're back in the middle 90s. Sydney?